Okay, I am live. Is there anybody there, and can anybody hear me? I did not advertise this, so I don't expect anyone to be there. All right. And then a quick... Come on, computers. Don't mess up on me. Hey there, Young Stacks. Welcome to the stream. Pizza Slice, welcome. Whoa, what just happened? All right, and those of you in the stream, can anybody hear me right now? Am I coming across okay on the mic? Yes, I'm in the new place right now. This is the first video I am filming from the new location. This will not be my permanent filming location moving forward, but you know, I'm still putting things together. I'm actually going to be filming from my office. So yeah, I'm fully moved in. I just haven't put everything where I want it to be yet. So still a work in progress, but it's coming along. Thank God. All the furniture's over. Everything's good. So it's just a matter of me organizing everything and putting it all together. All right, how's everybody doing tonight? Did everybody enjoy the Royal Rumble? Move's going great. It's done, actually. I just got to organize my place the way I like it. Why Nia Jax? Why? Oh, I'm going to talk about that. Never have I ever stayed up till 5 a.m. for wrestling. Well, WWE demands a lot of our time, apparently. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate the congratulations. I only watched the 2 Rumble matches. That was probably the best way to watch the show. Just skip everything else and watch the Rumbles. There's no Giants banner in the background. This feels wrong. Well, you know, new location and none of my pictures or banners are hung up yet. So not a whole lot to really show off at this time. Actually, right now we're in what's going to be my dining area. That's where we are at the moment. My videos are going to be filmed in my office, which is in another room back there. But you'll see that in future videos. Jets, Rangers, and Knicks. That must look cool. FT Legend, I miss your old apartment. Which one? Which of my old apartments? Who's your Super Bowl pick? The Patriots are probably going to friggin' win it, if I had to guess. I fell asleep during the men's Rumble, and I woke up to see no Drew McIntyre and for some reason Nia Jax. I'm confused. I think a lot of us are. Dude, there were moments during the men's Rumble where I completely forgot about shit, and I was just losing my mind. Like, wait, when did that happen? Wait, who? What? Where? What's going on? What year is this? I don't even know anymore. I was having senior moments left and right. I remember the light switch you had in the first one. Yeah, my dimmer. Yeah, that was my first co-star. First and only co-star. I kind of want to see Nia Jax versus Brock Lesnar now. Don't tempt them. They'll probably book it. That'll be your Mania match. I did too. Yeah, you completely forgot that No Way Jose was in the company. Yeah, I did too. I completely forgot that he was there. I don't think I've seen No Way Jose since he debuted on the main roster. Light Switch has been replaced with Echo as your co-star. No, Echo is going to be in a different room. Although I think Echo can hear me from here. Yeah. Hey, Echo, how you doing tonight? Oh, now you don't answer me. Oh, fuck you, finicky bitch. Yeah, the one time I don't want Echo to say anything, but the way it's filmed, the Echo is going to be in a different room from where I filmed. So interference from Echo will no longer be a problem. Is Alexa with you? Not at the moment. Echo wanted Drew McIntyre to win, so she's upset. Yeah, probably. Hawkins was never eliminated. I thought it didn't Joe throw him out? The women's Royal Rumble was stalking. Do you mean shocking? Is that what you mean? Andre Mason? Okay, to those of you in the stream, I posed this question to you. Which show would you like me to talk about first? NXT TakeOver or Royal Rumble 2019? Which entrance got your biggest pop? Jeff Jarrett. I'm just being a dick. All right, I'm seeing NXT. I'm seeing NXT Takeover. All right, so I think we're going to talk about Takeover first. Okay, so let's just dive right into that. Faithful Baller, I've got one for Royal Rumble. Pizza Slice. Royal Rumble, save the best for last. Rumble, just okay, now we're getting a bunch of Royal Rumbles. All right, so I've got 3 for the Rumble. And I've got 4 for the Rumble. Oh, we're almost even. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you think Seth Rollins would win? Yes, I did. Gargano versus Ricochet, WWE's match of the year. Well, this early into the year, yeah, it probably is. All right, I'm seeing more for the... God, what do we got? This is more divided than I expected. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's still 4-4. God, it's pretty even. Okay, I'm just gonna flip a coin. Let me go get a coin. I shall be right back. All right. Here we go. I wish Batista came back. All right. I have a coin. We gonna flip it. All right. All right, we got, just to prove to you, let Echo flip the coin. No, Echo didn't respond to me. Echo doesn't get to decide this matter. It's heads. Did you just flip a fucking... Oh, God, I hate you, Echo. God, I hate you. Really fucking with me. Okay, so we're going to flip this coin. Heads for Royal Rumbles, tails for TakeOver first. All right. Well, let's actually do this right. We have tails. All right, so we're going to talk about TakeOver first. Yeah, Mike Hughes, I was hyped for nothing. Redskins fans, I'm seeing a bunch of... We have a Redskin fan here. You might be close to me. I live in Redskin country. All right. Yay. Why are you typing L over and over again, Redskins fan? Great. NXT Takeover Phoenix was a show that I thought was good overall. It was not the typical high standard that we typically get out of takeovers. It wasn't perfect. That's the best way to put it. Most other companies could have put on a show like this, and it probably would have been better received. But I think from Takeover, we have like a pretty high bar, pretty high standard that we expect from Takeover. And this was one of those cases where I felt like after I watched it, well, normally after a Takeover, we feel like no way the main roster's topping that the next night. Here, this was a show where I felt like I think the Royal Rumble could be a better show than that. Obviously, that didn't happen. That did not take place. Who else was a surprise entrant besides Jeff Jarrett at number 2? I guess a lot of the NXT guys like Aleister Black and Pete Dunne and Kurt Angle, kind of, sort of. Yeah, would Kurt Angle count as a surprise entrant? Jeff Hardy, kind of, sort of, I think. But anyway, this Takeover was not one of their better ones, but was still a good show overall. In particular, there were 2 really good matches that I really enjoyed. A lot of things were just kind of – there was nothing on the show I hated necessarily, but there was a couple of things I'm like, yeah, that could have been better. But anyway, let's start off with the opening match. The War Raiders defeating Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong to become the NXT Tag Team Champions. I thought this was a very good tag match. I really like this hot opener, action-packed, great stuff. Some people complain that this was a spot festy kind of match, like the type of matches that I always rag on for tag team wrestling, where it's just spot after spot after spot. I didn't feel like it got to a point where it was ridiculous, like I have seen with like some of the Young Buck matches, or like at the Impact Homecoming show with the Lucha Brothers taking on LAX. It was a perfectly enjoyable action-packed tag team match, and I didn't feel like the wild action got out of hand to where I felt like, why didn't they just make this a tornado tag, you know? GGG. All right, Redskin fan, why are you typing just one letter over and over again? You got a problem? Yes, I agree. War Raiders' entrance was awesome. It was very, very awesome indeed. Aziz Yari, good morning to you as well. But anyway, yeah, I like the difference in styles between the two teams. I think the War Raiders, War Machine, as I knew them in Ring of Honor, I think they were a very, very good, like, big man power team that can do amazing things in there. And Undisputed Era, they've just been having great tag match after great tag match, and this was no exception. And I think the title change helped to make it a little bit bigger than the norm as well. So the War Raiders came out of this looking like $1 million, especially after that awesome entrance they got. So they entered in awesome, and then they left awesome by winning the tag title. So I thought this was a very hot opener, very good stuff, and I really enjoyed it. One of the better matches on the show. Next up was Matt Riddle versus Cassius Ohno. Is Cassius Ohno getting fatter? Like, I know I keep harping on him for getting fat, but I feel like he's getting fatter. Like, every time I say it, like, he's bigger the next time I see him. And I don't want to, like, be a dick about it, but it's like, look, what I will say is that Bull Dempsey got the fat gimmick, and he was nowhere near as fat as Cassius Ohno. Okay, so now I got my fat shaming out of the way. I did kind of enjoy this feud in that it made Matt Riddle look good. And I think that's an effective way. If you're going to use Cassius Ohno, use him to make other guys look good. And I do like Matt Riddle. And this match had its moments where it did some neat things, like Cassius Ohno taking advantage of the fact that Matt Riddle wrestles barefoot. And I thought the finish was kind of neat, where Cassius Ohno tapped out while getting beat the fuck out. I was like, I don't think I've ever seen that in a WWE match before. So I thought that was pretty neat. But match itself, little long, little clunky, probably could have been better, but at least it accomplished letting Matt Riddle come out on top on this feud and ultimately get even more over. So for that end, it accomplished what it was supposed to do. It just wasn't the best match or like one of the all-time great takeover grudge matches or anything like that. But as a showcase for Matt Riddle, I thought it was okay. Oh no, please for the love of God, wear pants. Yeah, I agree. Riddle used the Bryan Danielson elbows of death. Yes, he did. Cassius Ohno, Captain Cellulite. I mean, not untrue. Do you think Brock Lesnar will be the longest world champion since Bruno Sammartino? I doubt it. He'll probably drop it at Mania. I'm so tired of Brock Lesnar. Why make that match a hype? I'm going to get into that. Bro, what's your name? You can call me Patrick, since I don't think I'm revealing much. It's in my friggin' YouTube name. But anyway, next match after that was the match of the night, the match that's getting all the praise, and I thought was an excellent match for the North American Championship. Johnny Gargano, Johnny Takeover, Johnny Wrestling. After tonight, you can even call him Johnny Royal Rumble. Defeated Ricochet to win the North American title. I thought this was a very good match. I thought it was very good stuff. Great. Ricochet is one of those guys that every time I see him, he does something new and amazing. And that one spot where he landed on his feet after Johnny Gargano hit him with the top rope Hurricane Rana, I was like, Jesus Christ, this guy can do just about anything. And that type of unpredictability makes his matches even more exciting. And Gargano has regularly been having the best matches at, just takeover after takeover. So I thought this was a fantastic match, great stuff, and the title win made it feel like an even bigger deal and set up the ending for later in the show, which I'll get into that. But I thought that this match was the best match on the show and was the other match that I really, really enjoyed. Next up was for the Women's Championship, the NXT Women's Championship, Shayna Baszler defending and defeating Bianca Belair, beating her by submission. This match... Let's be real here. Ricochet and Gargano ripped off that Hurricane Rana reversal from Ospreay and Ibushi. Probably, but, they probably saw that match. It's like, hey, we can do that too. But you don't see that type of stuff often in WWE. So, it's more shocking when WWE does it. I agree. Yeah, Bianca Belair, the problem with this match was... Bianca Belair felt miscast as the underdog fight from behind babyface that they painted her to be in this thing. I think Bianca Belair, her personality is painted more towards cool heel. And I talked about this when I did my preview of the show. I felt like a heel versus heel match is going to be probably a little odd because one of them is going to have to play the babyface by default. And I don't know if that's going to work. And I'm not convinced that Belair completely worked as a face here. So it just kind of felt like, I was kind of hoping for Bianca to get kind of like that star-making performance that Becky Lynch got when she got defeated by Sasha Banks at TakeOver, that TakeOver match they had, which feels like it was eons ago, but that was a huge star-making match for Becky Lynch. And this one just kind of felt like a going through the motions type of match. And, you also had Bianca selling a shoulder injury, yet doing a bunch of moves with her shoulder. So it kind of didn't make a whole lot of sense. Retro Kid, welcome to the stream. How you doing? When does the Royal Rumble start? Royal Rumble already happened. Isn't Bianca's hair classified as a foreign object? Well, that's actually one thing I wish they would do with her, because I remember when I was a kid, Lex Luger had the bionic forearm where he had like the steel plates in his forearm, and he was using it to knock people out. And they debated whether or not he should be allowed to do that, so he had to wear like an elbow pad during his matches. And I was wondering maybe they should do something like that with Bianca, with her hair, like make her have to wear it in a bun, or in a no DQ match she breaks it out. Worst Rumble match ever, 95 or 99? I'm not sure. I don't know. Some of the more recent ones were probably worse than those. I mean, the 95 one was at least short, and the 99 one at least had Austin and McMahon. So the 99 one is horribly put together, but at least it had like the Austin McMahon stuff to kind of make it worth it. There were some other ones in more recent years where I was like, God, it wasn't even worth it. The winner wasn't even worth it. On the NXT scale, Phoenix gets a B. On the WWE scale, it's an A-. That's probably a fair assessment. Years down the road, Belair should lose over hair versus hair match. Oh, God. This is my first takeover, and I loved it. That's cool. That's cool. 2015 Rumble was god-awful. I agree. Did you mark out when you saw Hornswoggle? No, I did not. The 2014 Rumble was also terrible. Yes, it was. But anyway, going into the further into the women's match, I thought they did some cool things, like the first time Belair used her hair, and the her fighting out and reversing the submission the first time I thought was great. When they did it the second time, it felt like they were padding. But it was, the match was okay. It just wasn't like this kind of runaway hit I think they were hoping for, especially in regards to getting Bianca Belair even more over. I don't think it quite worked as well as they were hoping it would. But I still think Belair has kind of a bright future. I just think that she should be cast as a heel. I think that would be a better role for her rather than, Rock had to be a heel first before he was able to be the People's Champion. So, but yeah, not one of the better TakeOver women's title matches. And that brings us to the main event. Tommaso Ciampa successfully defending the title against Aleister Black. I thought it was Duke and Shafir doing the run-in during the match. I don't necessarily mind that they are doing that with Shayna Baszler. It's got to come to a point where whoever beats Shayna has got to overcome that, whether it be a cage match to cancel them out or some way to kind of keep them out of the action, or the babyface manages to just overcome their interference and win. So that's going to have to play a role in when Shayna ultimately drops the belt. They should put the Rumble in 2 days. If they're going to do 2 Rumbles, might as well. But anyway, going into the main event, I think the comment I made on Twitter was this. I asked the question, did Triple H serve as the agent for this match? Because at times some of Triple H's bad tendencies kind of crept into this match. I like the selling of the leg was very good from Aleister Black, but maybe the attack on the leg went a little too long. And I think my overall assessment of this match was this was a perfectly good 15 to 20 minute match that got stretched out for 30. You could have trimmed some of the fat here, and I think it would have been a more effectively told story with better pacing, and got to the point quicker. Sesamo, who won the men's Royal Rumble? I'm just going to go ahead and say it right now. So spoiler alert if you don't want to be spoiled. If you don't want to be spoiled, just get the fuck off the stream immediately and go watch the Rumble. But Seth Rollins won it. So there you go. My friend said Aleister Black didn't sell the leg enough. I disagree. I thought he sold it just fine. It was just that it went into that Triple H thing, kind of like what Triple H and Seth Rollins was, where it's just he attacked the leg for so long that it got to a point where I felt like, should he be even able to stand on that leg at this point? But Patrick, I think the fact that Brock Lesnar is still a champ is sickening. I'll get into that later, but when I talk about Royal Rumble. But I thought the main event, Ciampa versus Black, was a solid main event. It was probably fine. It's just not one of the better TakeOver main events. It was solid. Ciampa's finisher being called the fairy tale ending is perfect for his finisher. Yeah, I agree. That's an interesting name. Not a John Cena fan, but I wish he was in it. I'm fine with Cena not being in it. I'm completely fine with that. But anyway, I thought the main event was fine, just not one of my personal favorite NXT TakeOver specials. And that's where we got the ending with the now fully turned heel members of DIY standing on the stage and holding their titles. Ciampa being the NXT World Champion and Gargano being the North American Champion. And now it looks like we're getting a heel DIY. And this is actually going to play into the halftime heat match, which is a 6-man tag with the faces of NXT facing the heels of NXT, basically. So that should be a fun match. I don't know if I'll be able to watch it. It depends on when I'm doing Super Bowl Sunday. But if I'm at a party with other people, I'm not going to be able to. It's like, hey guys, let's flip over to NXT, because most of my friends don't have the WWE Network or anything like that. They're not titles; they're belts, Patrick. Yeah, you're correct. You're correct. That's my little nitpick. I should be consistent. Wasn't Cena supposed to be in it? He got pulled out of it this week, I think. Now make DIY the NXT Tag Champs, and you have the 2-man Power Trip 2.0. Yeah, exactly. What are some of your favorite pay-per-view posters? You know what? I don't even know. I've never really thought about it, to be honest. Who will win the Super Bowl? If I had to guess, probably the Patriots, if I had to guess. That would probably be my pick. I'll be rooting for the Rams, though. But anyway, that's NXT TakeOver. Like I said, it was a perfectly solid show with a couple of Pat, I said a $900 donation. Did you get it? I don't. That's completely unnecessary. Don't you have the SummerSlam 1991 poster? No, I don't. Favorite Rock movie? I don't know. Like, Rock's a weird case where I love him as an actor, but I'm not really a huge fan of a lot of his movies. And believe it or not, I've never seen the Fast and the Furious movies. Best match of the weekend, probably Gargano and Ricochet. Rampage, yeah, Rampage again, but Rock was really good in it. Scorpion King, like, not my favorite movie. Rock's really good in it. And that sums up a lot of Rock's movies where it's like the movie's not great, but he's great in it. I mean, he's very charming. But anyway, yeah, so that sums up my feelings on TakeOver. I thought it was a good TakeOver, not one of the best takeovers by a long shot. And like I said, at the end of the show, I felt like, you know what, Royal Rumble could be a better show than that. It wasn't. Royal Rumble was not. Now, Royal Rumble was not a bad show, but it wasn't a great show either. Did you see Glass? No, I did not. Central Intelligence is one of my favorite Rock movies. I never saw that. Is that the one with Kevin Hart? That's like the comedy where it's like Rock was the fat kid that became like this badass FBI guy? Because I thought the trailer was funny. I just never got around to see it. Okay. All right, we're going to move on over to the Royal Rumble now. Going to review that. Now, we had 3 pre-show matches. We had Bobby Roode and Chad Gable versus Razor and Scott Dawson. Shinsuke Nakamura winning the United States Championship from Rusev, and Buddy Murphy successfully defending the Cruiserweight title in a fatal 4-way against Akira Tozawa, Hideo Itami, and Kalisto. I had the TV on while these matches were on, but I was putting my bed together at the time. I was was setting things up in the living room, so I didn't really watch these matches, so I have no idea if they were any good or not. I was not paying attention. I just know the results. And I know that Lana got hurt during the U.S. title match, which played into the Rumble, which I like that. I like it when things happen in one match and it plays into something that happens into something later in the show. But I'm kind of glad I didn't watch the pre-show matches because this show was long enough as it was, so I'm like, you know what? I'm fine. I don't need to watch all of that. Bro, do you think that Asuka deserved that title back? Well, I kind of figured she was going to retain because I kind of predicted that Becky was going to win the Rumble. So, you know, I thought it was fine. 4-way was great. That's cool. I didn't see it. Will WWE ever put their movies on the network? Probably. I miss 3-hour pay-per-views. I do too. That's one of the things about TakeOver. It was 2.5 hours. It's like, man, it's, you know, it didn't overstay its welcome. It just came and went, told the stories it needed to tell, and got the hell out of there. When are the streams returning? They will be returning in February. And that's actually one thing before I dive right into the main card for the Royal Rumble. If you want to vote on which WrestleMania matches you want me to live stream, watch, and review, the polls are still up. They will close on February 1st, and I will actually do a live stream to announce the winners. I can't stress this enough. I have not checked the results for these polls, so I have no idea what I'm in for. I just ask that you be kind. What are Chris Benoit's best WCW matches? The Best of 7 with Booker is a great one, great series. He had some matches with Eddie that were pretty good. The match he had on Nitro with Bret Hart was really good. He had a ladder match with Jeff Jarrett at Starrcade 99. I believe that was awesome. So those, off the top of my head, those are the ones that come to mind. And if you want to see something a little wacky, his Falls Count Anywhere matches with Kevin Sullivan were pretty good. The Divas Royal Rumble was so cheesy at moments. Well, both Rumbles were a little cheesy, I thought. Did Booker and Chris become a tag team after the Best of 7? I don't believe so, no. Smash, Kill, Mary, Becky, Charlotte, and Ronda. I would marry Becky, kill Charlotte, and smash Ronda. Ronda strikes me as someone that would be like a wild woman in the sack, so that might be fun. But Mary, like Becky's the keeper of that group, and Charlotte just by process of elimination. Booker T or Triple H? What do you mean? Like which one I like more? I've been less infuriated with Booker T, if that means anything. I don't know if that does. Triple H has probably got a better overall body of work, but Booker T has pissed me off less. Have you seen Hulk Hogan's hideous tattoo that he got on his back? No, I haven't. I don't know if I want to see it. What did you think of the NFC Championship game bullshit? Referees are obnoxious beyond belief. Smash, kill, marry, Sarah Logan, Katrina, and 2006 Mickie James. Jesus Christ. Oh, God. I don't know if I can do that. I'd smash them all, marry them all, and then kill myself when I was done. Ronda's into chokeholds in the sack. Probably. Do you think the women will main event Mania? Yes. Yes, I do. This year, definitely. Charlotte is pretty hot, right? She looks too much like her dad in the face. Like, I look at her and I just see her dad, and it's just, no. Thoughts on JBL in the pre-show tonight? I didn't see him in the pre-show. Didn't see it. So anyway, since I didn't see the pre-show, let's jump into the main show. We opened up with the women's title match for SmackDown. Asuka defeating Becky Lynch. I thought this was a solid match. Like I said, I wasn't surprised that Asuka retained. They also did that one spot off the apron that was like a flipping suplex thing, and I was like, man, that looked nasty. That could have easily gone wrong, and somebody got hurt. Thankfully, nobody did. But thought this was a solid match overall. Becky lost by submission, but wasn't surprised by the result at all. But it was an overall solid match, and because it came in as early as it did, I thought maybe that would open the door for Becky to play double duty and ultimately win the Rumble, and that's pretty much exactly what happened. Next up was the SmackDown Tag Team title match, The Miz and Shane McMahon defeating The Bar to win the titles. Thought this was also a solid match, fun tag team antics. Shane got to be his usual crazy self, even got to win the match with a fucking shooting star press. I wonder if Lesnar saw that and felt embarrassed. It's like, dude, a man that's almost 50 years old is able to do the shooting star press, and I wasn't able to do it. That's crazy. I refuse to listen to Colin Graves, so I listen to the Rumbles with Japanese commentary. God, that's a great option, actually. Listen to it in like a different language. That's pretty great. I missed most of Becky versus Asuka due to being asleep. Why are the McMahons still wrestling? Because they run the show, dude. That's why. All right, what came after that? Next up was Ronda Rousey defeating Sasha Banks to retain the Raw Women's title. This match was okay. Wasn't blown away by it. Probably the weakest big match I've seen Ronda have, because typically she comes across fairly well on pay-per-view, and her matches have gone well. This one just kind of felt like it was there. I guess it's because at no point did I feel like Sasha was actually going to win. Although that shoulder submission she locked in like earlier on in the match was pretty sick looking, where she bent Ronda's arm all the way back. But it was just kind of an okay match that was there. Nothing too great. Not a lot of drama to it because I just fully expected Ronda to win, and it played out pretty much exactly how I expected. But it was, not as good of a match as I think people were probably expecting. Alexa Bliss or Becky Lynch, which is hotter? I'd take Becky, to be honest. That accent, man. And then from there, we had the Women's Royal Rumble match, which felt like the main event of the show and went really long. And actually, I'm looking at Wikipedia right now. It went way longer than the Men's Rumble, which by the time this match was over, I was kind of ready for the show to be over. That accent or that Becky Buddha? Well, if I'm getting Becky, I'm getting both, right? But anyway, I thought the Women's Rumble was kind of up until the ending, which the ending was great. I thought it was just a perfunctory Rumble where it was just them doing the Royal Rumble spots. And there were a few botches along the way, but it wasn't particularly memorable up until you got into like the closing sequence. And the only spot I can recall really liking prior to like close to the ending sequence was Mandy Rose knocking out Naomi while Naomi was trying to do a bro, you need to get laid. Not right now. I'm doing a live stream. I mean, YouTube has got laws against get laid on a live stream. I do believe they would pull this thing quick, fast, and in a hurry. But Naomi stole John Morrison's spot. Yeah, but anyway, I did like Mandy Rose like breaking that up and screwing her out of her miracle moment. It's like keeps that feud going, and it's like you know I know that they have a feud going on with like Mandy Rose trying to steal her husband. I haven't watched any of it, so I don't know what the hell's going on there. But it's a it was nice to have that moment on there. It was like a little bit of flavor to add to the Rumble match, but. Taker Mankind's Buried Alive match is your favorite match in their rivalry. What are your thoughts on the other Buried Alive matches? Honestly, most Buried Alive matches suck. Like, to be perfectly honest, most of them suck. And it's like, that was the only one that I really, really liked. And it may be the SmackDown Tag Team one from eons ago. I remember that one being okay. But anyway, I'm sorry, I'm just keeping up with the comments. CM Punk come back already. They've got other problems besides not having CM Punk. But anyway, the Women's Rumble, kind of like uneventful up until you get towards the end. And I think the most notable thing that happened, obviously, was Lana came out and she was hurt. And Nia attacked her, and she had been hurt earlier on the pre-show and couldn't compete. So Becky Lynch took her place. Now, if I'm going to be like critical for a minute, Lana came out at like one of the later entrances. I'm going to say like 26, 27, 28 maybe. I don't remember the exact number. And Lana stayed up there on the entrance ramp the entire time. And then after number 30 had come out, Lana was still out there. And then Becky came out and took Lana's place. And I felt like, wait a minute. I thought the rule in the Rumble was if you don't make it to the ring by the time the next person comes out, then you're eliminated regardless. And so it felt like it took way too long for Becky to come out and take Lana's spot because it felt like her spot was already eliminated. Now, I could do an entire video about inconsistencies with the Royal Rumble rules. You should have been there when I was watching the Royal Rumble from 1996 where Vader threw Michaels out of the ring after Vader had been eliminated. I was like, oh, so Michaels is eliminated. It's like, well, no, because Vader was eliminated, so that doesn't count. It's like, but Giant Gonzalez eliminated The Undertaker in 93, and Gonzalez wasn't even an entrant in the Rumble to begin with. So where's the consistency with your goddamn rules? And again, I could talk about like inconsistencies with the Royal Rumble rules all day long. So this is just another example of that. So it's not a huge deal. But I did like Becky coming out and having, being hurt and ultimately having to overcome the odds to overcome Nia, which, by the way, major production fail. They missed the spot where Nia attacked Becky Lynch after her elimination. So major missed spot there. But yeah, but Gonzalez is not even in the match to begin with. So it's like, to me, it's like he has even less of a right to eliminate people than Vader did. The answer to that inconsistency is because the plot say so. Dude, you are so cool. Thank you for taking time and mentioning my comments and all comments. You earned my sub. I appreciate it, Redskin fan. What do you think is an underrated Royal Rumble? I don't know. Like 94 is one I'd put up there as one of the best, and I don't hear that one come up because I like the double finish. I like Bret Hart's entry, and I liked the dominating Diesel spot. So that I think 94 is a really good one. Anyway, where was I going with this? Anyway, I like that Becky Lynch won. I thought that was the right call. And by the time it was over, it felt like the show should have been over. It was like, all right, that was the main event, guys. Let's wrap this up and go home. And then I was like, oh shit, no, we've still got 2 world title matches and another Rumble to go before this thing's done. I'm like, oh God, we're going to be here a while. So that leads us to the worst match on the show, AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan for the WWE title. Very long, very plotting match in front of a crowd that had no energy for it because they just sat through a match that went like an hour and a half or hour 15 or whatever. Patrick or SpongeBob? I'd pick SpongeBob. I hate that damn starfish for obvious reasons. Yeah, the crowd was absolutely dead during the WWE title match. Because how can you expect them to have any energy for that match after sitting through a match that went like an hour and 15 minutes? It's just not possible. And they were put into a very bad spot. And the end result was just a dead crowd, and it made for a boring match, unfortunately. And I hate to see guys I like put in a position like that, but it is what it is, unfortunately. We got Eric Rowan helping Daniel Bryan get the win, and it looks like they're going to be forming some kind of a hipster evil heel cult stable with Daniel Bryan. So that could be fun. I don't know, but yeah, this match didn't go over well, and it's very, very unfortunate because you put these guys in the right situation, they can have an amazing match. And this one was just kind of like, I mean, it's in my opinion, it's an early contender for worst match of the year, and it's not those guys' fault. It's whoever, these cards are overly long, overly bloated. And that was the biggest problem with the Royal Rumble. This show was just way too goddamn long. I'm not saying it's a terrible show. It was just way too fucking long. And there were things like, by the time the show was over, there were things like the tag title match. I completely forgot about Shane McMahon's shooting star press. I was like, I had to remind myself. I was like, oh yeah, that did happen. And then during the men's Rumble, I had like, Seth Rollins won the men's Rumble, but I had like 15 senior moments while watching the Rumble because there was shit that I forgot left and right. So it was just, these shows are just too overly bloated and just too much of a mess. But yeah, God, I would kill for lesser content. Like, just scale back, guys. You don't have to over glut these shows. And I even had the idea, it's like, look, if you want to do 2 Rumbles, why not just do the 2 Rumble show and then save Styles versus Bryan and Brock versus Finn for the February pay-per-view. So you don't have to overcrowd everything, because you're doing a pay-per-view a month anyway. So might as well, like, instead of giving us too much on one show, why not just like spread the wealth a little bit and make the cards a little bit more unique? I don't know. It was just, this show felt way too long, like way too long. Yeah, certainly having 2 Royal Rumbles help with that. Having 2 world title matches sandwiched in between the 2 Rumbles certainly helped with that. But it was just just overly long show. But anyway, yeah, we didn't get a surprise entrant from Kenny Omega. I know some people were speculating that might happen, but it did not. It definitely did not. Because WWE thinks longer shows mean better shows. Apparently they do, because that's what they keep doing. Do you think Ghostbusters 3 will be set to fail? It's just not. It's way too late to be doing that, I think. Harold Ramis is gone. Bill Murray's getting up there in age. Dan Aykroyd's old. It's just it's way too late to be doing Ghostbusters 3, I think. But Did you see Rhonda's husband? I did not. No. Who'd be the bigger signing, AJ or Omega? I'd say Omega. If AEW, I mean, Omega's like the hottest free agent in wrestling right now, I think. But yeah, thanks for the Puma get up. But anyway, AJ Bryan, not a fan of that match, and that's a shame. Next up, we got Finn Balor versus Brock Lesnar, which was basically a Brock Lesnar match where it's like, all right, I suplex the guy for a bit, then he makes his comeback, and then I win. And it's like, all right, but at least the finish was kind of cool where he beat him with the Kimura lock rather than just F5ing him into oblivion. So they did some things. So it wasn't like a complete waste. And thank God it was short, because at that point I was like, let's just move on to the end. Let's just move on. And when Finn Balor didn't come out as the Demon, I already knew that Finn wasn't going to win. But once he didn't come out as the Demon, I'm like, okay, he's definitely not winning. So this was just a quick, to the point match with a couple of fun moments in it. So it was, it was what it was. So Brock isn't defending the title till Mania? Probably not, if I had to guess. Who do you think is more of an icon, Sting or The Rock? I think Rock has had a bigger impact, although Sting is probably, personally, more my favorite. Rock has had the bigger impact and way more of an icon. with how he's been able to cross into the mainstream. If Balor put up that much of a fight, then theoretically the Demon King would squash Lesnar. I actually had an idea, and it's impossible to do, but if they could pull it off, it'd be great. If Finn Balor got his ass kicked by Lesnar and then rolled under the ring and then popped up through the mat, dressed up as the Demon. That would be amazing, but there's no way in fuck you could pull that off. The fan telling Brock to leave for another 4 months was very funny. Yeah, it was. That was funny. Yeah. But anyway, that brings us to the main event, the Men's Rumble match, which, what's your favorite pizza? Pepperoni and sausage. Or pepperoni and bacon, one of those two. I really wish Brock would wrestle on Raw at least once. I'm fine with it. You know, it's actually less is more. I actually don't mind it as much as other people do. I actually wish other guys would take lighter schedules and not wrestle every week, and they'd mean more. Does the Demon lose power every time it's used? If it loses, yeah. I mean, if the Demon goes out there and loses like 47 times, then yeah, that kind of kills it. Who do you think is going to take the title off Lesnar? Probably Seth. I'd say there's a fairly high chance that Seth does. One of my YouTube friends despises Finn Balor and says Smarks jerk off to him. Well, yeah. How much power did Bray Wyatt lose? A shit ton. To put it mildly, a shit ton. Like, Bray Wyatt's practically useless at this point. But anyway, the Men's Rumble... is Joe the only one who's defeated the Demon? I think so. Yeah, he did that one time in NXT. I think he's the only one. Seth could, but you have Money in the Bank too. So, yeah. Maybe, yeah. Anyway, the Men's Rumble, there were a couple fun spots in it, like the Jeff Jarrett Elias spot was kind of fun, even though at that point it looked like the concert thing was going on and on. I'm like, guys, I want to wrap this up, please. Can we take this the hell home, please? And but that was fun. You had a couple of things in there, like Kurt Angle got a brief moment, and did Braun ever cash in his Hell in a Cell or his Money in the Bank? I thought he did. I thought Braun did cash in his Money in the Bank at some point. Was WWE testing the waters for intergender matches in the future? Well, I'll get to that in a bit, but I'll talk about the Men's Rumble. It was just kind of like it was there. But there were some fun spots. I thought Joe was dominant throughout the match and did some fun stuff. I thought the Hornswoggle spot was not my cup of tea. No, that was actually in the women's. I forgot about that. Yeah, that was actually in the Women's Rumble. I'm getting my Rumbles crossed. I'm having so many senior moments trying to keep track of all this stuff and remember everything that happened. But I guess the big spot that's going to get a lot of people talking from the Men's Rumble was Nia Jax coming out and stealing the number 30 spot and then proceeding to beat the ever-living shit out of everyone. So this woman, who has had competitive matches with Alexa Bliss, who was 5'0", just went in there and kicked all the men's asses and looked dominant. And for a hot minute, I'm like, oh God, is Nia Jax going to win the Men's Rumble? Would they go that route? She didn't, but at the same time, it took like 4 or 5 men to eliminate her. Like she got I made a joke on Twitter, see, Undertaker couldn't be in the Rumble this year, so you had to give Nia Jax the dominant killer spot. And it was like, okay. And they may be testing the water for intergender matches. And I guess of all the women on the roster, if you're going to do that with somebody, you can do it with Nia, but did Nia ever lose clean to Alexa? Not that I'm aware of, but they did have like super competitive matches. So she's had competitive matches with girls half her size, and now she's going in there and throwing Randy Orton around and throwing all the men around. Jax had a better show than Gargano, Dunn, and Alistair. Yeah, definitely. Jax eliminating Ali hurt me on the inside. To be fair, Nia is probably bigger than most men. See, we're not allowed to point that out, or that's fat shaming. See, if I say it's like she can't be dominant, then that's sexist. And if I say, well, she can't be dominant because of her size, then I'm fat shaming. Seeing Orton sell for her was weird as fuck. Yeah, it was. What did you think of the Royal Rumble? The show as a whole was an overly bloated show that went way too long, but had a couple of fun things on it that kept it from being terrible. Both Rumbles themselves, I thought the Becky Lynch ending of the Women's Rumble made that one the better of the two Rumbles. The Men's Rumble was kind of a goofball fest with Braun and Seth. Now here's the moment where I completely had a brain fart. Bobby Lashley got eliminated quickly and then proceeded to put Seth Rollins through the announce table. Yes, Takeover was the better show of the two. Yes, I would say that. I completely forgot that Seth got put through the table. So when you're getting towards the end where Nia Jax was out there killing everybody, I was like, wait, when did Seth get eliminated? I completely forgot about it. And again, that points to like how there's just way too much content on this fucking show. It's just way too long. But it was, there was a lot going on in this one. So it came down to Seth and Braun, and Seth ultimately got the win by curb stomping Braun Strowman on the apron, getting the win. I think a lot of people predicted that Seth would win the Rumble, so it's not a surprise. A match with Brock has been rumored for a while now. And was Wrestle Kingdom better? Yes. Yes, I would say Wrestle Kingdom was better. Yeah. Wrestle Kingdom 13 had some lulls, but the last three matches were amazing. Yeah, the Rumble was really fucking long. How and when did Drew get eliminated? Dolph Ziggler eliminated him, right? Dean Amber. And I will say this for the Men's Rumble. There were a couple storylines that did play a role in this match, although probably not as dynamic as they could have been, like Dolph and Drew and Dean and Seth and that type of stuff. So that was fun. But I wish they would do more stuff like that. Have you heard about the New Japan work visa issues because of the U.S. government? I'm not surprised that that's an issue. Hopefully they're able to straighten that out. Who do you think would win, Triple H or Shawn the HBK? Like, what, in a real fight? In a real fight, I'd probably take Triple H. But who knows? But yeah, Seth Rollins is the winner of the Royal Rumble. That is your Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Again, God, I feel exhausted just talking about this show. I just feel, if I sound like I have a brain fart right now, it's because I probably just had my brain fried trying to sit through this entire thing. And it's a lot of the same stuff I keep talking about. I wish WWE's pay-per-views were shorter. I wish there were less shows. I wish Raw was shorter. I actually heard talk the other day of extending SmackDown to 3 hours. I'm like, please don't do that. You've got too much content as it is. It's just way too much to keep track of. Alicia Fox rolling around over that hat was like cringe. Did I miss that spot? I saw Alicia Fox come out with the hat. I don't remember her rolling over the hat though. I will say this: there were some cool like saves in there. Who was that girl? I've already forgotten her name. Casey something. The acrobat who had like the spider monkey save herself elimination. That looked amazing. Kofi Kingston had that cool one where he rolled around the apron. The one where Xavier Woods helped him, not as cool, but who would win a fight between Scott Steiner and Brock Lesnar? I don't know. Probably at this point, Brock, because Scott's getting a little old, but I don't know. Like I wouldn't want to get into a fight with either one of them. Yes, Casey Catanzaro. Yeah, her save herself a miracle preventive elimination was amazing. That was probably the highlight of the night as far as like a spot goes. But it was, there were a couple of those cool moments sprinkled throughout the Rumble. So again, it wasn't a miserable experience. It's just that the show was way too long. And the biggest victims of that were AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan, unfortunately. Math contest, Scott Steiner or Brock Lesnar? Oh, Scott Steiner, definitely. I'm going to New Beginning in Charlotte this weekend. Have fun, man. That's going to be awesome. Cool beans. All right. Oh, and speaking of the women, because the women kind of like dominated the show. When you look at Nia Jax being in the men's Rumble and the women's Royal Rumble and then 2 separate title matches, like the women kind of dominated the show. I do want to talk about the women's tag team titles because if you follow me on Twitter, I posted an idea of how I think the tag titles might actually work. One of my criticisms of the WWE is that they have way too many championships. And this is not solely a WWE problem. It's a New Japan problem. It's a Ring of Honor problem. Too many fucking belts. And the women's tag titles, when I heard they were doing it, I'm like, oh my God. Too many fucking belts, guys. But a way to make it work at least somewhat. What are your favorite fast food joints? I try to avoid fast food. I'm actually in a strict diet regimen, but on my cheat days, like I'm likely to go to like Chick-fil-A or something like that. But anyway, the women's tag titles, a way to make that work is make the tag titles brand specific, and the brand that gets the women's tag titles drops their women's singles titles. So you have a way to present the women on one show, which is through the singles titles. And then you have a way to present the women on the other show, the other brand, which is the tag titles. Now, granted, you would have to double up the women's roster on the brand that got the tag titles, but could be a way to do it and make it work. Drop one of the singles titles and make the tag titles brand specific. Because I got called a sexist for saying that to make the brands different, I feel like all the women should be on one show and all the men, all the women should be on one show and all the tag teams should be on another show. Apparently that's sexist to say that. But it's like, okay, if you have to have women on both shows, have a singles title on one show and the tag titles on another show, and have fully fleshed out divisions on both. Smash, kill, marry, Kairi Sane, Io Shirai, or Asuka? You marry Kairi Sane because she's adorable. Smash Asuka because she would be crazy. And kill Io Shirai by process of elimination. I want to go to a Dunkin' Donuts. I like Dunkin' Donuts. I like their coffee, especially. And some of their breakfast sandwiches are really good. Yeah, I really like Dunkin' Donuts breakfast sandwiches. I haven't had their donuts in ages, but I had a egg and bacon and cheese on a bagel, or on egg, bacon and cheese on a bagel the other day. And it was delicious. Good times. Yes, it is. Dunkin' Donuts coffee is way better than Starbucks. Not only is it sexist, it's tag teamist. Yeah, I'm the biggest tag teamist on the planet. Kairi crying during the pre-show was adorable. I missed that. I didn't see that. Bacon is good if you're on a diet. No, but it's fine on my cheat days. Starbucks is popular. It's more of a brand thing than it is like quality of product. I can't stand their shit. Smash, kill, marry, Mandy Rose, Toni Storm, or Renee Young. It's a tough one, and I'm not like a huge blonde person. I would marry Renee Young because she's cute and adorable and sweet. Smash Toni Storm and kill Mandy Rose by process of elimination. I know Mandy Rose is supposed to be like the drop dead hot one, but Toni Storm and Renee Young strike me as more fun. Yeah, some people go to Starbucks every day, and I don't understand what, that overpriced garbage? Okay. Dude, you can get, when I worked at the hospital, there was a vending machine there, and I got a cup of coffee out of that machine for $1. The Buck vending machine generated coffee was way better than Starbucks. I would take that vending machine's coffee every day over Starbucks. No question. Should Renee Young be the valet for Dean? No, you don't need to bring that onto the show. Should have been more surprising returns. See, I don't watch the Royal Rumble for surprise returns. I watch it for like stories and developments to see what's playing into later. So I don't mind that there wasn't a lot of like, oh, remember that guy? That's not the reason I watch the Royal Rumble. Dutch Bros better than Starbucks. Literally all coffee better than Starbucks. McDonald's coffee better than Starbucks. What was your rating for the Royal Rumble? I gave it a C. If you look at the description, I had like letter grades assigned to the show as a whole. I gave it a C. I live in Seattle. Starbucks is trash. Have you ever seen Walter wrestle? No, I haven't. I haven't seen him wrestle. How would you feel about interactions between Renee and Dean with implied domestic abuse since Ambrose is a heel? That would be daring if they went there, and it would put heat on Ambrose, so I'd kind of be okay with it, but people would flip their shit if they did it, so they won't. Are you watching Reigns' movie? I didn't know Reigns was in a movie. What game consoles do you own? Mostly Nintendo. I actually just got the Super Nintendo Classic. I've got that. I've got a Wii U. I've got an N64. I've got a GameCube. And I've got a Retron 5, which plays NES and NES cartridges. Yeah, No Way Jose, who I completely forgot was with the company. And they basically turned him into Adam Rose with a mullet, or not a mullet, a fro. John Cena should have been on commentary. Yeah, because that's what I need. Walter is a modern-day Andre the Giant. That's an interesting comparison. Yeah. I'll have to check him out. I'm curious. I'm curious, to say the least. Who do you think was the wrestler of the night? I'd give it to Becky Lynch by default. Her winning the Rumble was the best moment. She wrestled twice. You know, I would give it to her. Whoopity-woo! Bro, my pee is better than Starbucks. I'm sorry, Redskins fan. Like, I'm getting a huge like Vince Russo vibe from you, bro. Let me tell you something, bro. I would have Becky Lynch wear a strap-on to the ring and proceed to fuck Charlotte in the ass, bro. I'm telling you, she calls herself the man, bro. And in my world, the man has a dick. So really, I think Becky Lynch should have a fucking strap-on, bro, okay? And then she fucks Charlotte in the ass and wins the Royal Rumble. That's how I book this ending, bro. $1 million idea. I'm telling you, bro. It's fucking great. Will they insert Charlotte into the Becky Ronda match? Well, the whole thing I brought up about Becky being a substitute, a very, very late substitute, they could use that as a justification to make that happen. So don't be surprised if that comes up. Cornette or Russo? I mean, both of them are so much fun and have given me hours and hours of delight. So, you know. Yeah, I highly doubt CM Punk. I mean, they say never. Punk is about as close to a never as you could ever get. But then again, Warrior and San Martino came back, so who knows? I'm going to do a podcast with my friend. That's awesome, dude. Best of luck to you. There's a video on YouTube titled Jim Cornette Shoots on the Universe. I'm going to have to watch that. We're going to do WCW in 2000. Godspeed. Have all the fun in the world with that. Favorite botch of all time? Favorite botch of all time? Probably Test getting his leg tied up in the rope at WrestleMania 17. That was so amazingly funny. Go back and watch it. It's really fucking funny. Like, it's I know the Titus slip from last year's Greatest Royal Rumble is really funny. But I don't know why, but Test getting his leg tied up in the ropes, that to me was funnier. No, Mania 19 with Lesnar, that wasn't funny. That was downright scary. What about the Crown Jewel main event? I didn't see that match, so, but I did see some clips of it. And yeah, they botched quite a bit. Sid breaking his leg. Oh God, that was nasty. Sith? You spelled Sid Sith? I think you mean Sid, because that was nasty as hell. What do you think of Cornette shooting on Sable for not being able to wrestle? I mean, I understand Cornette's point, but at the same time, Sable was over, so how can you fault it? I mean, she gave the fans what they wanted. They didn't want 5-star classics out of her, so, you know. Owen Hart by ooh, you went dark on that one, buddy. The Undisputed. You are the Undisputed Dark Humor Man. Wait. Samantha Evans, what's your favorite match? Like, ever? God. Bro, you're cool, dude. Okay, Matt Riddle. Every time you call me bro, I'm just going to compare you to Vince Russo or Matt Riddle. That's just how it is. Shockmaster. Okay, you know what? Shockmaster might be my favorite botch of all time. That one really takes the cake. Papa Shango at WrestleMania 8. That's a funny botch. Yeah, Redskin is high. Yeah, Matt Riddle, bro. But yeah, favorite match of all time. I don't know. Like, if you ask me that question every day, I'd probably give you a different answer. Like, right now, in my head, I'm leaning towards Undertaker and Shawn, Hell in a Cell. But, you know, if you ask me tomorrow, I might give you a different answer. Kick your leg out of your leg. Yeah. Yeah. Steiner slipping off the apron in his match against Test was another really funny one. Did you see that botch from a recent indie show? Guys try to step over the top rope and tumbles out of the ring. I did see that. That was pretty funny too. Hogan Warrior 2. Oh, the fucked up fireball spot. Yeah. Holy crap. Pitch Vince Russo managing Matt Riddle. Yo, bro. There's this guy, bro. I'm telling you. This young guy. Matt Riddle, bro. He says bro all the fucking time, bro. He says it. It's great. I think Vince Russo, bro, he and I would be a match made in heaven, bro. It would be $1 million idea, bro. It would be great. Batista selling a show from Mark Henry. That was a funny one. That was, yeah. Favorite promo of all time. Oh, God. I miss the days where, like, promos were legitimately awesome all the time. I mean, just about anything from Foley. I mean, Foley is probably my favorite. A lot of Jakes are really good. Flair, obviously. Savage. The cream always rises to the top. Yeah. Yeah. Russo would book him with a foot fetish. Absolutely. Jinder's ghost bump from Crown Jewel. That was pretty fun. Or no, that was Greatest Royal Rumble. Do you think Cornette will actually piss on Russo's grave? If he could get away with it, he probably would. Okay. Alrighty, guys. It is almost 1:15 o'clock, so I've got to go to bed. I've got to go to bed and get up for work tomorrow. But thank you all for watching. I had a lot of fun here. Before I sign off, I do want to remind you, the link is in the description. Go ahead and vote in the polls for which WrestleMania matches you want me to do a live stream for throughout February and March. And I will read the results on February 1st. Also, I have a few other videos I need to get out to you guys. My next Kaiju movie review, my next Star Wars book review, and my top 10 match video. They might not get done before January is up. I apologize for that. But like I said, the move really fucked with my schedule for obvious reasons. But those videos are coming, and I will get them to you, I promise. So be on the lookout for those. But that is all I have for you now. Thank you all for watching, and thank you all for staying up late with me to talk about this really, really long pay-per-view. I was glad to get it out of the way, but that is all I've got for you now. So Godspeed, everybody, and you all have a good week.